On the stuff, though, that we're talking about with avoidable mistakes for Armstrong, right? We got Ron chiming in here. When is Guerin going to be held accountable for what he's done with this roster with the NMCs? Which we can extend it beyond the no move clauses, though. Would you agree that there have been some easily avoidable mistakes that he has made with the recent signings?
Oh, yeah. Big. I mean, I don't even think that can be people that want to defend Guerin the hell of that. Like, they will. But there are certainly, like, at the time, too, we've all been like, what?
Yeah,
like,
it's not hindsight. It's not hindsight.
It's just like in the moment I was like, oh, that feels crazy. That's why did what? Like the one that will never leave me is the Goligoski one, because like the timing of when that contract was signed too, it was like, hey, he just can't stop getting scratched. It's like, all right, let's give him 3 years. Like, what?
Hey,
no move clause.
6x6. It wasn't 6x6.
No move clause. Like, what the fuck?
I still think the biggest blemish, and like we can nitpick each individual contract, all three guys being signed before the season started this year seems just aggressive. Like, yeah, if we don't do this now, they're going to get paid way more somewhere else. Like Zuccarello, sure, I can understand because you got him for an okay deal there, and there's the side thing with Kaprizov. Hartman, like, I'll play along. Like, I'm okay with it. If you're telling me that other teams are going to outbid 4x4 for Foligno, and they're teams that are in a position to win that he'd rather go to and uproot his family and leave the team that he's happy leading, I call supreme bullshit on that. There is no fucking way. It's because Bill Guerin is obsessed with the type of player that Foligno is, and like for good reason. Like, it's a great player to have on your roster, not on a fucking 4x4 when you have kids that you're trying to get up into the pipeline, and you just signed two other guys that are going to be there for another 3 years, 4 years for Hartman, and you've got the 5-year special for Freddie Gaudreau, and his dad's not even part of the organization anymore. Like, all of that put together. And again, I have largely been a big supporter of Bill Guerin and all the things he's done. That string of decisions, I'm not even going to say that all of it's bad. It's the fact that all of it happened. Pick one or two of those things. Do not do the other two. It's that simple.
Yeah. I mean, and I'm in the same boat where I'm like, all right, I guess I'll see how this plays out. But it feels like the volume of players now signed beyond like the next year or 2 years doesn't really bode well for, first of all, some of the guys you probably do want to keep too. Like, that wouldn't have costed. Yeah, there you go. That's why he's been fired.
Bill Guerin had no idea there were no move clauses. Chris O'Hearn slipped before they were signed.
God damn it. Yeah, like you said, like the fact that all of them got like, it's funny too. I mean, it makes sense just based on age, but it's funny that like of all the guys that got re-signed, who for the least amount of time, for the fewest amount of years, it was Zuccarello. It's like on face of a career. And I think you are at the point now where we're gonna question them all, like at least the number of years on those deals right now, but you better pray at least like half of them hit and give you something real good for the first 2-3 years of that deal. And the whole common thread is just like, all right, well, what is the plan for these young studs who look like they might be ready the next year or two? Like, that's the big question, obviously. In terms of like the ones that I'm like looking at like right now is still like the Goligoski one will break my brain. Even Merrill at the time, I was like, all right, 1.7
I thought Merrill at the time was legit. He played well that season. Like, he wasn't a world beater, but to sign him to 3 years for like what, 1.25? I was actually a supporter of that. Like, I'll raise my hand. You can all be mad at me. At the time, it made sense. He fell off a cliff, and I don't know why or how that occurred. I don't know what happened to him, because he was a very serviceable 5, maybe even 4 if you needed it in a pinch. But like now he's an 8.
Yeah, literally.
Like, what the fuck? But I don't know. It's not great. And then Ron adds another one. Marcus Johansson contract with a no move clause also issue. Dude, everyone was so excited that, yeah, Guerin didn't go out and get anyone new, but we've still got that acquisition from the trade deadline of Johansson, and he's looked great with Boldy. Has he provided any value this year?
I like that was one again. Hey, put my hand up there. I was excited that
we were all saying
like anyone that said like at the time, oh, this is terrible. You're lying. You're just that's not true. You'd ever like that's not true. Or you're no matter who they said like, oh, this is a terrible deal. Blah 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 blah. I don't know. Like that's been the one that to me is like honestly the most confusing. That like it started poorly this year, just like 70 or well, really 85% of the roster. Like literally, this was the worst possible start, other than losing every single game for most of the players on the team. But the prolonged, like even like when they got last like 2 weeks or so, like there's been flashes of good play, but nothing even remotely close to what we saw before. Like it's crazy when you go back and that goal that he scored, what was it, game 3 versus Dallas, where he put it between what's his face's legs and then went shelf, was unbelievable. It's like that's the same hockey player, and it's just like it's unrecognizable. But again, he makes like a small little like nice play here and there, but nothing that really stands out. Like what was it, 2 games ago maybe? Forechecked well, won the puck, and he gave it out front to was that Erickson? I can't remember who it was, but he made like that play. It's like, all right, let's see if he can ride that momentum. Nope. So I don't know. Like it's crazy. Like again, not just the fact that it didn't start well, but the fact that it's continued is what's really like mind blowing to me. It sucks. So, I mean, even that contract, yeah, there's what was it, 2 years? I'm still not like, that's a killer. Like, is it 2 years at like 2 point something maybe?
Which one? Yeah, Johansson 2 by 2 something. Yeah. Again, not crazy, but it's just like you're stuck with him. He is here. And that is a spot that is being taken away from other guys. Like the things I would do to give Adam Beckman a shot on that second line and put Johansson up in the press box for a couple games. Like, I don't know. Whatever.